Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking. Pilipinas at buong mundo. With pride, let me introduce to you Miss Universe Philippines 2021 and Miss Universe 2021. Luigi Gomez. Bea, thank you.
Thank you, Tito Boy.
May nanalo na. Thank you, Bea.
Thank you, Tito Boy. Hi, everyone. Hi. Seeing all of you here tonight.
Ganda ng lakad. Is that a new one? Is that, you were talking about a new walk?
Well, I don't want to reveal it.
No, not yet. Okay, so every member of the panel will be asking you a question and then we will talk about your answers. Okay? Let's start with Rachel.
The question is, if you will be given a chance to educate the society who have a little knowledge about special children or children's special needs, how would you educate the society in your own eyes? How would you let the universe know how beautiful these children are?
So I myself am an advocate for the children. I dedicate all of my work for children, especially children in conflict with the law. But when we talk about special children, it only means that we have to be inclusive in prioritizing all of the rights of every child in every sector that includes special children, children in conflict with the law, and even most especially children who are vulnerable to violence and abuse. And I think it is one of the most important things that we need to prioritize amongst other social issues.
You started kinda okay because you went to something that you're familiar with.
Yes.
You talked about your advocacy doon sa mga children in conflict with the law. But in a Q&A, and you have 30 seconds, doon ka na lang sa kung saan ka komportable. The technique is, kung hindi ka makakapunta sa special child, mag-children ka na. Because this world will be a lot better. This will be a better place if we take good care of children. Period. Bea, to remember, karamihan ng tanong, basic na tanong is nasa dulo.
Yes.
Oo, latag yung iba eh. And then, how do you make the world appreciate the beauty of these children? Okay? Kung layered ang question, choose a question. Isa lang ang sagutin mo. And then you can even repeat it. Para klaro sa judges na ang sinasagot mo, how will I make the universe appreciate the beauty of these children? I think to appreciate beauty of children, we'll have to take, we have to look at them from the heart. Di ba? And then you can go into the saying that the most beautiful things are not seen through the eyes, but through the heart. And in one simple word, how do we make people appreciate the beauty of these children? Love. Thank you. Pero ang hirap nung ang hirap i-drawing yun. But the technique there is control the narrative, control the question. Now I'm learning from some of the best teachers in public speaking that when you make an important point, say it and dramatize it. Because that's effective. Start strong, sound right. Huwag kang bababa. Let's go to Mela.
So here's my question for you. As an out and proud LGBTQIA+ member, how would you deal with a roommate who's a homophobe or a transphobe?
That's not going to be the first time that I will face someone who is actually homophobic. So I would show her that I'm not a threat, I'm not a harm, and that I would tell her my own story, and I would make her appreciate all the work that I've done. And most especially, I would tell her that I am the first LGBTQIA+ member to represent our country, and that it's something huge, and it is something that our country is beginning to embrace, and that the rest of the world as well, and perhaps as well as her.
Okay, comments.
I hope she started with, I myself am part of LGBTQIA+ community. And you continue with that. That's first your story. Kasi
There was an
fast
assumption
food
already kasi
Yeah.
that,
Oo.
because Bea has been open, but maybe the Miss Universe, they may not, the whole world may not know, so you have to identify so it becomes powerful. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Halimbawa, how to answer that question with the power of 3. I have 3 things to say. Number 1, I will be nice to her. Number 2, I will respect her as a human being. Number 3, if necessary, I will make her understand that more than our differences, we have more commonalities.
I love that answer.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a nice
Yeah. It's the power of 3. Let's go to Rabia.
There's a lot of social media influencers and celebrities that express their art in social media, and somehow it involves nudity and inappropriate language. Do you think that these celebrities do hold moral and ethical responsibility to the society, especially to the youth?
I know a few of my friends who are artists do this, and I understand that they want to express how they feel, but they have to be responsible in their platform, especially social media. A lot of children has access to social media, and it would be hard if nobody is guiding them in what they're looking at. So I think they should be having restrictions and regulate their art and put it out there in a platform where it can be regulated, where children won't have access to it. But I still believe that they are allowed to do their art and show it to the world. But they have to make sure to do it responsibly.
Bea, you're developing, diba? You felt it. You feel something when you're not there.
Yes.
Alam mo yun, diba? So, ito yung, you have to self-edit. Just go to one thought and then just roll with it. Just kill it. What's your comment, Rabia? And then I'll go to Adam.
To be honest, it was also asked to me when I was practicing my Q&A, and I was really having a hard time answering it. But it's all about perspective, and especially in the Philippines, Tito Boy, I mean, we have a lot of conservative minds yet. So I would attack it in a way that, but it depends. For example, she's gonna be in Israel, so you have to choose your crowd in answering your question.
You have to know your audience.
Yes, yes, know your audience. So siguro ako, you stick to one thought and just stand with it.
But you have 30 seconds, remember, huh? That's why the point of, you have 30 seconds, isang puntos, develop that, and then attack. Any other points?
You are very good at what you're doing, Bea. We believe in you. All you need to do is just breathe.
Lovely.
Or even if you've lost it, you can still recoup it by giving a strong final line.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, because sometimes you can't really help it, you get lost in your thought, right? Good thing is the judges will always remember your
The last line.
your last tone, your last so don't get discouraged if you get lost in your thought.
So if the first 2-3 lines were sabit, you still have the power and the chance to say, nudity, I'm fine. Inappropriate language, no. Thank you.
Tito Boy, just
Yes, go ahead, Mela.
So if you deliver it with somehow thinking, I know of the keywords, and say it right away, it makes you powerful. It makes you owning the question.
So let's go to your question.
Why should you lose Miss Universe?
That's a very tough question because I've done all of my trainings with one goal in mind, and that is to win. But now that you ask me, why should I lose? I think I shouldn't. Because, as I said earlier, I've dedicated everything to win, and that should not be an option.
She killed it!
You know why?
Yeah.
Because you're getting angrier. Yeah. Let's go to Adam.
Hi, Bea.
Hi.
So as we all know, scientists from around the world all agree that the effects of climate change are getting worse year by year until we do some action about it. Yet we lack the political will among world leaders in addressing this environmental problem. Now, in your opinion, do you think a world leader's political will is crucial in addressing this environmental problem? And if so, how do you think we can prod these world leaders in prioritizing climate change action in their respective agenda?
As a community development worker, I myself would love to see the welfare of everyone being prioritized, and no one should be left behind, especially when we talk about the environment. We all know that it does not just affect the external objects around us, but it affects everyone, the children, the community, the people, and the solution of the climate action that we should do is to get everyone involved, every individual, the government, and when things are no longer in balance, I believe that the government will begin to prioritize climate actions. So we need to constantly remind them that there are a lot of people being affected by the environmental problems that we are suffering today, and that this should be their priority.
Okay.
Thank you.
Comment, Adam.
Probably siguro how she would have attacked this question is probably related to our country as one of the countries that are being affected by this global problem kasi we're being ravaged by typhoons year in and out. So, para lang ma-personalize yung answer mo. And I
Right.
don't know if you've been doing disaster relief operations back in your hometown, you could probably inject that to your answer and probably end it by saying that probably what the government could do is to demand citizen action
And vice versa.
and vice versa.
And citizens
Para lang
must
collective
demand
action
government action.
to solve this problem.
Why is this question very important? Because I am pretty sure this is going to come out.
Yeah.
Because that's the
Absolutely.
theme of Miss Universe. First, acknowledge that there is a problem. Second, acknowledge that you, governments, have responsibilities. Number three, we have to keep on reminding each other. The conversation must continue. And how do you remind the conversation? Remember what the young girl said when she addressed the United Nations? What was her name again? Greta Thunberg, the 14-year-old girl? I repeat what she said to the leaders of the world. How dare you? Thank you. Pag hindi ko nanalo. Sabi ko nga, kung Q&A ang opening, pasok ako eh. Pero hindi eh. Di ba? Parade of Nations. Anyway, let's go to your
Okay,
question.
mine's a little break from all the heavy
Yeah,
questions.
okay.
Bea, you've talked a lot about your fight. Why is the Miss Universe crown worth fighting for? And should you win, what do you think today's modern Miss Universe, given in this new pandemic environment that we live in, should accomplish?
Not easy, huh? Okay, but that's a wonderful question.
I'm already imagining myself winning the Miss Universe crown. And if I ever achieve the title this coming December, one thing that I would want to accomplish is to continue my advocacy on promoting the social welfare of children. And that is one thing that I would want to expand during my reign.
Numbers are powerful when answering that. Pero also, don't be afraid to have fun, huh? You can also answer that by telling us what you wouldn't do. Number one, I will not drink with my friends the whole night after I win. Number two, I will not forget my advocacy to work for children. I will not forget to be a good child to my grandparents
That's nice.
and to my mother. I will not forget to be a good citizen of my country. And I will not forget what Miss Universe is all about. These are techniques. And sometimes they're easier because you're saying what you will not do. Parang man ang dali-dali, no?
Also, I wanted to add, aside from pushing your advocacy, they also want the Miss Universe winner to be relatable.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would add something that's normal for a girl. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
No, ang ganda nun.
you know what I mean? Not just a dream. Like, of course, the advocacy is very important, and I love that your advocacy for the youth in conflict is very natural to you and you feel it. But try to think about it, like, as a girl. Like, why is it worth fighting for? Like,
Diane, that's why the answer to, I work so hard for the crown. Number one, I will not drink. I will not drink and waste my whole evening with my friends after I win. Sorry, friends. Number two, I will not forget. That's a nice tack, ha? It's a nice tack to answer a question. Because hindi ka mag-i-struggle. As opposed to, when I win Miss Universe, you will fall into the trap of saying the mundane lines about, you know, having the crown. But if you say, I will not, that's different. And that's brave.
Even during the Miss Universe Philippines pageant, I constantly told them, I don't want to hear about your advocacy.
Yes.
I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about you. Because we keep reminding them that before people would want to follow you, would want to help you in your advocacy, they have to like you first. They have to find some relatability.
And you're a person, a human being.
Yeah.
I always call it the Gloria Diaz way of answering. Thank you, Diane. Let's go to you, Alexandra.
Speaking of what Voltaire was saying with personality, let's put ourselves in the setting of Miss Universe. You just passed the top 20 and all of a sudden there is a 45-second personality speech. How will you introduce yourself in 45 seconds?
I would just tell them something that I haven't said in my bio, which is where my name came from, which is Beatrice and Luigi. Beatrice came from Saint Beatrice de Silva from Spain, and Luigi is actually from the Super Mario game. Luigi is Super Mario's brother, and I myself is also a fan of video games. In fact, I always carry around a Nintendo Switch with me, and I may sound serious and look serious all the time, but I can also be fun.
Comment.
Well,
Did you like it?
I think you could have started
Take
with,
that out. Yeah.
My name is Beatrice, and this comes from so and so.
And then I hope I would know. I was looking for Saint Beatrice. She's a saint of what? That would be interesting. Oh, kasi yung, ano ba, she's a saint for babies or for whatever. That would make it powerful. The Luigi, I understood it. Became interesting. Okay, so you may think I'm serious, but I'm not. I'm really fun. But you know what? I'm both a sinner and a saint. You have to know how to
Work it around.
work it. Oh,
A 360 pa ba?
tama. Just to sum it up.
Though I did find it very interesting how the way you chose to tackle a personality question was to go straight to your name, because I personally wouldn't have thought about it, but I found it so fun and interesting. So I really liked that about your answer. I just think it could have been given with more conviction if you just went straight to that.
I like the word conviction, but I like the way you attacked it. Yun lang, dagdagan. Mela, you want to say something?
Yes, you can open by saying who I am is written in my name.
Ganda.
I'm Beatrice. I'm named after a saint. I'm Luigi, one of the half of the Super Mario Brothers, and I'm Gomez. Gomez Universe.
Oh.
That's so,
You can say that.
Very
That's
nice.
so
Yeah.
Very, very
I
nice.
love that.
Very nice. Okay, let's go to Voltaire. Last but not the least.
In recent years, contestants, beauty candidates endlessly talk about their advocacies while they're competing. After their reign or after their pageant, it's all about their careers or love life. Do you think there's hypocrisy on the part of some queens who forget about their causes?
Well, I wouldn't be that kind of queen. Before joining this pageant, I already have in mind the plans that I've laid out of what I would do after, and that would be mainly focused on my advocacy. And if the past queens have been like that, I wouldn't be. I would make sure that I will stick to my advocacy and to my promise and to what I'm dedicating this competition for. And that is to give opportunity and highlight the needs of these children.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay ako dun. But don't be afraid to say no. Or say yes. But you have to be very careful about not saying all the beauty queens. If some of them.
I said some.
Oo, no, siya.
Yeah.
Kasi sinabi niya all the beauty
Wala rin
queens.
ako sinaparinggan na.
The other way, but I liked it. I liked it. From the very first question to the last question, ang layo na ng nilakbay mo. But it's still a long way to go. Energy is everything sometimes. Without energy, sometimes we're nothing as public speakers. Halimbawa lang, if I were to ask a question, I would say yes. As there are good and bad people. There are people who forget their promises. So, yes. But I am not going to be that queen. Because that's a powerful answer. So huwag ka matakot. Iwas ka dun eh. Iwas ka maging controversial. But again, answer. But I like the way you said, I am not that. I like that. I like that. I am not.
Yeah, that's maganda. I-end yun nun. I'm not that because I am Beatrice Luigi Gomez Universe.
Bea, taas. The thank you. Use the thank you to raise it. Na parang, ang ganda-ganda ng sagot mo. Kahit ano pa ang sagot mo. Always end it with...
Exclamation point.
Yeah, always end it with thank you.
Yeah.
Diba? At saka that whole stance. Sound right, begin strong, end strong.
Bea, can I ask you a question? I wanted to know, when are you most excitable? Like, with your
Right.
friends? Like, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of maybe something that you can think about that.
And you can put in your mind,
Yeah,
no?
that you can put, because he was talking about the power of declaration earlier. What?
When I'm playing volleyball.
Ayun!
Mag-volleyball.
Then volleyball in your mind! In your mind! And the smash. Are you a smasher? Is that how you call it?
Spiker.
A spiker? Smash yard.
You're so sports-minded. You're so athletic.
I'm so violent.
But again, it sounded right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a spiker.
You smashed it.
Sports
So-
pala magpapanalo sa kanya.
Yes, so spike, that's in the mind. Thank you for saying that, Dayan. Jumping, I'm spiking, and I'm just gonna win this. Guys, we took a lot of your time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
I learned a lot. Thank you very much.
Be happy, enjoy,
Enjoy the journey.
We are not going to worry about the pasarela. We're not going to worry about all these things because you're going to slay.
Let's go, Bea!
Gomez Universe!
My last question is this, Bea. And I've asked Pia this, I asked Catriona this. Complete the statement. I am Beatrice Luigi Gomez and...
I am Miss Universe 2021.
You guys out there, maraming mabuhay po tayong lahat. Looking forward to Bea winning the Miss Universe. And we're claiming it. She is Miss Universe 2021. Front row, thank you for making this happen. Thank you.
Bea, you've focused a lot on your physical preparation for the pageant, your emotional well-being, your total health. Why is it important to put health as a front row in your priorities?
I have to prioritize my holistic health in the front row because I wouldn't be able to perform in the stage if there's something wrong with me in my physical body, my mental health. I have to make sure that everything is healthy so that I will be able to perform and win the crown.
Thank you. Taas, ha? Taas. Okay. Maraming salamat. Basta taas mo, ha?
Isip pa niya yung volleyball.
Oo, isipin mo yung volleyball. Spike it. Yung because I need to be healthy. Pa! Ganun yun. Bea, let's do the fast talk.
Let's go!
Red, black.
Black.
Night, day.
Day.
Cebu, Manila.
Cebu.
Lechong manok, lechong baboy.
Lechong manok.
Favorite actor in the Philippines.
That's hard. Jericho Rosales.
Most beautiful woman in the Philippines.
My mom.
Kung meron kang third eye, saan mo ilalagay?
In the back part of my head.
Bakit?
I want to see what's behind me.
If you have wings, where would you go?
Brazil.
Why?
I want to see the statue of Jesus in Rio de Janeiro.
If you were to enter heaven and God is there, and He says, "My daughter Bea, why should I let you come into heaven?" Ano ang sasabihin mo sa Kanya?
I've done your work, so you should let me
Lights on, lights off.
on.
Sex or chocolates?
Chocolates.
Best time for sex?
Any time of the day.
Bea, maraming salamat. You have my
Thank you
love.
so much,
You have
Tito
my,
Boy.
you have my love. You have my respect, and you win it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking.